Hi, Rashid Kapadia here with the Eloquence tip on a Wednesday. We'll continue with last week's topic of anxiety. Where does this anxiety come from? And what I'd like to do today is to take a no drama, low drama, a scientifically informed, a sensible, a strategic approach to understanding this fear, the body sensations. Now, we've all heard it, and I've heard it way too often. The fear of public speaking is greater than the fear of death. I don't even know how to process this. It sounds so ridiculous to me. And as a matter of fact, I routinely speak to my audiences. When I'm speaking to them, I ask, is there anyone in this room, and I can ask you as a viewer too, is there anyone who is objectively, genuinely more afraid of public speaking than death? And so far, I haven't yet found this person. But let's put all that aside. Let's just banish the thought and acknowledge that glossophobia, body sensations, they are real. They come up when happening in public speaking. So let's take a look at them in a scientifically informed way. And to do this, I'll include a TED talk at the end of this video clip. But to give you a quick summary of what's going to come in this TED talk, here goes. Now, when we have to give a speech to our conscious minds, this is a speech. To the rest of our brains built up to the code of the law of the jungle, when we perceive the consequences of blowing a speech, this is what our brain thinks. It's time to run or to fight to the death. This isn't all only in our heads. These body sensations, they are the result of a natural, hormonal, full body reaction by an autonomous system on autopilot. So try to understand this in more detail. And everyone has it and everyone can handle it. There is no harm in being scientifically informed, sensible, and strategic when looking at this fear. On to the TED Ed video now. Good luck.
Palm sweaty, heart racing, stomach in knots. You can't cry for help. Not only is your throat too tight to breathe, but it'd be so embarrassing. No, you aren't being stalked by a monster. You're speaking in public, a fate some deem worse than death. See, when you're dead, you feel nothing. At a podium, you feel stage fright. But at some point, we all have to communicate in front of people, so you have to try and overcome it. To start, understand what stage fright is. Humans, social animals that we are wired to worry about reputation. Public speaking can threaten it. Before a speech, you fret. What if people think I'm awful, that I'm an idiot? That fear of being seen as an awful idiot is a threat reaction from a primitive part of your brain that's very hard to control. It's the fight or flight response, a self-protective process seen in a range of animals, most of which don't give speeches. But we have a wise partner in the study of freaking out. Charles Darwin tested fight or flight at the London Zoo's snake exhibit. He wrote in his diary, "My will and reason were powerless against the imagination of a danger which had never been experienced." He concluded that his response was an ancient reaction unaffected by the nuances of modern civilization. So to your conscious modern mind, it's a speech. To the rest of your brain, built up to code with the law of the jungle, when you perceive the possible consequences of blowing a speech, it's time to run for your life or fight to the death. Your hypothalamus, common to all vertebrates, triggers your pituitary gland to secrete the hormone ACTH, making your adrenal glands shoot adrenaline into your blood. Your neck and back tense up, you slouch. Your legs and hands shake as your muscles prepare for attack. You sweat, your blood pressure jumps. Your digestion shuts down to maximize the delivery of nutrients and oxygen to muscles and vital organs. So you get dry mouth, butterflies. Your pupils dilate. It's hard to read anything up close, like your notes. But long range is easy. That's how stage fright works. How do we fight it? First, perspective. This isn't all in your head. It's a natural, hormonal, full-body reaction by an autonomic nervous system on autopilot. And genetics play a huge role in social anxiety. John Lennon played live thousands of times, each time he vomited beforehand. Some people are just wired to feel more scared performing in public. Since stage fright is natural and inevitable, focus on what you can control. Practice. A lot, starting long before in an environment similar to the real performance. Practicing any task increases your familiarity and reduces anxiety, so when it's time to speak in public, you're confident in yourself and the task at hand. Steve Jobs rehearsed his epic speeches for hundreds of hours, starting weeks in advance. If you know what you're saying, you'll feed off the crowd's energy instead of letting your hypothalamus convince your body it's about to be lunch for a pack of predators. But hey, the vertebrate hypothalamus has had millions of years more practice than you. Just before you go on stage, it's time to fight dirty and trick your brain. Stretch your arms up and breathe deeply. This makes your hypothalamus trigger a relaxation response. Stage fright usually hits hardest right before a presentation, so take that last minute to stretch and breathe. You approach the mic, voice clear, body relaxed. Your well-prepared speech convinces the wild crowd you're a charismatic genius. How? You didn't overcome stage fright. You adapted to it, and to the fact that no matter how civilized you may seem, in part of your brain, you're still a wild animal. A profound, well-spoken wild animal.